Welcome back to Toriko Anime Review. This is part 8, and this one we're covering the final 4 arcs of the manga, which is Air, Pair, Another, and God, which these are chapters 272 to 396. And I'm also going to get my final thoughts on the anime as well. And if, let's say, if they decide to revive the series, what they could do. First up, let's talk about these arcs. First up is the air arc. There's a couple important things that happen in this particular one. One, this is where Toriko decides on his salad. The air. He finds air, eats it, and he likes it, so he puts on his course. But the arc has a shocking ending to it. And what the shocking ending is? Komatsu gets Mortal Kombat. A Mortal Kombat fatality. He gets his heart ripped out from behind. I'm not kidding. I'm like, sweet Jesus. This is the most shocking way to end a really interesting arc. Air was okay. It was not exactly the best arc, but yeah, it's like they went to the gourmet world to find ingredients. Of course, they find ingredients. Of course, sent back. Of course, they sent to the human world. Of course, later on, there's a bunch of people that come in. And then the pair arc comes along, and what do the 4 Heavenly Kings do? Fire a monkey over his balls. I'm not kidding. That is literally what happens in here. Yeah, the pair is its 2 set of balls, a part of this monkey. That is literally what they're fighting over. They do eventually get the pair, though it's a sort of a spirit version of Komatsu, and Toriko catches him, merges into one. They put in Komatsu, he gets healed, and then they all eat the pair, which turns all the guys into women. Not kidding. Even Sunny Pun's like, oh no, my balls are gone. Yeah, like everybody's so shocked to see that all the guys have been turned into women. Yeah, when they all finally arrive, like Reen, Milk, like a bunch of characters. hmm Yeah, it was funny. Another was when they with this one, Toriko decided on his fish course. I think it's called Order. I think it's called. Plus, of course, Komatsu has sort of like he gets separated briefly from Toriko throughout this most of this arc, and yeah, they get separated. Eventually, they do find each other again. It takes a while though, but they do find each other. I'm just summarizing exactly what happened in these arcs, but it's not exactly like a full detail of every single thing that happened. hmm But Toriko decides on his full course thing, and next thing is like, okay, we got it. So, oh yeah, and also just before this, I think it was about the start of this arc, that Toriko tells Reen that because they're gonna go get God, it says as soon as they get back with God, he tells her, let's get married, and she was so happy with that. So they they go and get the another. Of course, when they eat the another, apparently Sergeant, who's actually with them, yeah, he actually was ordered to be partnered by Mandora to partner with Toriko. Fine, and he finds out something interesting during another. He finds out through some memory he unlocked that he's Toriko's twin brother. I'm not kidding. So the guy who so these two characters, Starju and Toriko, two characters that have literally tried to kill each other throughout almost the entire series, are in fact brothers, twin brothers. Though if you look at Starju, the way he's picked in the anime, he is taller than Toriko by at least 2 inches, and yet these two are supposed to be twin brothers. It's weird. Of course, this is fully explained in the next arc when revealed that the guy who everyone thought was dead, Alkida, yeah, it turns out he's alive and well, and he's this bizarre-looking creature. Excuse me. However the heck this guy is even alive, the manga does not explain at all. It's like, oh yeah, he's alive, and Alkida he kills Jiro, the Naki Master. Yeah, he kills him. Of course, also toward the end of the arc, Topoli. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. Yeah, and Akita, the guy is a jerk, and the guy is selfish. And also the character Joa, who was introduced during Cooking Feast, yeah, he's finally killed off by Mandara. Yep, and it turns out that Joa was actually a host. He was using Fenice's body. As what Joe really looks like, no idea, because he was using taking Fenice's body for a joyride, because apparently when Mendora tried to revive Fenice, this is of course in a flashback, he couldn't exactly bring her back. And I've got to point this out, and I'm surprised no one has ever pointed this out though. Fenice is a smoking hot woman. I'm not kidding. I get the reason why they call her the chef goddess, because she is a god. She is a smoking hot woman. And I think it's Sarju. I think it's Sarju or Toriko asks Alkia, like, did he? Yeah, because they slept, because he and Fenice slept together. Did you sleep together out of love or appetite? He said appetite, which made Toriko angry. Of course, there is a flashback in the arc. It's shown in the arc that where Fenice tells him, is like, I prepare your ingredients. How about if you sleep with me? Yeah, she's offering him to sleep with her. Yep. And of course, the reason why he never knew anything about him having kids was because she smuggled them out of the country. Yep, she smuggled them out. And of course, they have two places. Toriko ended up later on with Akida's student, Ikiru, who he was raised along with the other three of the four Heavenly Kings. And Starju, I think, was found by Mendora and became Sui chef for the Gourmet Corps. Yep. Let's see. Oh yeah, also the world is nearly destroyed in this arc. Yeah, all fighting over God. Yeah, and God, the creature that's known as that, is this gigantic creature, which they do cook and eventually do make more of this thing later. And in the third to last chapter of the series, Mendora dies. Of course, at this part, he has stopped being a villain, and he's the one who kills Joa in this arc. Alkida, it's kind of implied I think he went back to I think he died and went to the afterlife. They try to revive Ichiru, but that doesn't work out. He's still dead. Yep. And then in the Pendulum chapter of the series, Torgo and Rin get married. And Rin is hot, is beautiful in her wedding dress. Heck, even her wedding dress is edible for some reason. And they have the ceremony, and then they serve the full course meal. Also in the God arc, I forgot. I gotta mention this. Toriko decided his meat. It was Nero. He ate the leader of Nero, not Neo, Neo, and he had one of the survivors come to his wedding. And at this wedding, he pretty much invited pretty much every single character who popped up in the series. And this was close to about 1,000 people at his wedding. I'm like, wow, Toriko, you must be really rich to invite all these people to have all this expensive food cooked for you. And then they serve out, and for the reception food, the food is Toriko's full course meal. And everybody eats it and they love it. Yep. And it's by far a really good chapter. No action per se, it's just Toriko and Rin's wedding. It's what we expected way back in the Billingbird arc, and something happened. And then comes the last chapter of the series, chapter 396, where it jumps ahead 3 years later, where Komatsu and Toriko are going to space. How long? They say about a few days. Of course, they also reveal that he had turned back to good, thanks to happen this recent arc. Yeah, him and Komatsu are now friends again. And his other friend, Uda, I think his name is, he took charge of the school because he cooked God, so yeah. Let's see what else. Excuse me. And then we finally see Toriko. He's exactly where Komatsu found him back in the opening chapter of the series. Fishing with a giant grasshopper. And what does he pull up? A spaceship. Because him and Komatsu are going to space for a few days. And they also mention that Coco and Zebra have also gone to space to look for the final ingredients of their menu. Sunny has already completed his menu already. But, okay, so I have this question though. When I was finished reading this chapter, I'm like, okay, we reveal what Sunny and Coco are up to. Not Coco, Sunny. Coco and Zebra are up to. They're off in space. And of course, Komatsu and Toriko are looking for more ingredients in space. But I have a question though. Where the heck is Sunny and Reen and everybody else who popped up during the series? What are they up to during this final chapter? Never revealed, because that's it. That's the last chapter. Um, would I like to see more of Toriko for a manga form? Yes. Maybe something. One thing I like to see for Toriko they do with him is a light novel to kind of explore if any other character got a woman they want to get involved with. In the case of Komatsu, me personally, I want to end with Milk because that was a good setup for a possible relationship, which never paid off anyways. But everybody can tell these two had things for each other. But I personally would love it if these two end up as a couple. In the case of Sunny, Coco, and Zebra, well, Sunny, the only woman I could think of be perfect for him because, well, she has to be pretty on camera all the time. Even though she's an anime only character, but I would love it if they make her, even though she does appear in the manga, but it would be interesting if Sunny started to date Tina. That would be interesting because here's two people who, well, in the case of Sunny, he always has to look so beautiful, and Tina does it on a special basis when she goes on camera. I mean, it makes sense, but the thing is, Sunny never really interacted with her that much in the series, but it's the only woman I can think of he could possibly be in a relationship with. That's just my theory. Zebra, I'm not really sure. Brunch was the only chef who could be possibly a good partner for him because they're very much alike. And as a matter of fact, during the Cookie Feast arc, they're actually at a point where they could have easily fought each other, and they actually fought each other, and they actually ended up capturing the island just by sheer coincidence. Yep. But yeah, these final few arcs are really good, but Air, wow, with that ending, it was shocking, like Mortal Kombat-esque. I'm not really sure if the writer of the series was inspired by that to do that, but yeah. But now overall, the Toriko manga is really good. Now let's talk about my final thoughts on the anime. In the case of the anime itself, I would probably say the anime is really good. Despite what people say, it is a good anime, despite what happened during the last two episodes of the series where Toriko got himself a Super Saiyan power up for no explained reason. I have no idea why in the world the anime thought this was a good idea in the first place. Yeah, it's one of the most bizarre things I have ever seen when it comes to Toriko. Now, if the series didn't come back, first thing to do a hour long episode to ignore the events of the last two episodes of the previous series and just adapt the actual ending the manga gave to the particular arc, not what the animators came up with, because that was okay. A lot of people thought it was a piece of crap. And then of course go to the Billy Bird arc and of course throwing Tina, like have her be like a documentary, so basically films the entire trip in the gourmet world. Could be. Well, that could be a good idea, but they do explain in the anime that electronic devices don't exactly work properly in the gourmet world. So who knows what they can do. But I'm sure they probably have Tina involved somehow. Maybe we could have her basically do a lot of like taking notes on the whole thing. It's just a theory. Yep. But yeah. So that's it for this particular episode. And so, part 9, I'm going to do the Toriko short film, and the short, and part 10 is going to be the first of 2 top 10s I'm going to do of my favorite characters of the series, both male and female. I'm going to do like 11 videos altogether. Alright? But until I see you in the next episode, bye.